This is Naruto from Avail. You may have seen this picture somewhere, and if you have not seen it, that's fine. Today we are going to talk about Avail Nexus. It's what it is doing and how you can leverage it or work with the hackathon. We introduced liquid apps. That's the general borderline that we are working with. But just a little bit of the context. Web3 is changing fast. There's too many things going on. There are too many chains launching, L2s, L1s, and now we need to figure out the different UX. My funds are based on my funds are right now in base, then they're on Hyperliquid, then they're on OP. So everything is so fragmented, and this is why we built something called Avail Nexus. This is what I was talking about. There's lots of bridges, lots of chains. You see Arbitrum 1, you see OP, Mental, Blast, and then you see bridges such as, Polygon POS, Potel, Ronin, Multichain, all of these, Layer 0, across. So all of these are bridges there, right? The problem is the UX here. If you look at the cross-chain liquidity flywheel, which is very important for any chain that is being launched, you see there are more chains, there's a liquidity fragmentation, the UX doesn't work, you have to go to some trustless bridge, and then there's a weaker composability, there's no liquidity on the chain. That's why we have built something for multi-chain. It's called Avail Nexus. But what really happens if someone is building, let's say you're a dev, right? And you're trying to build something which allows your chain to get liquidity. So you looked at something called verified lock and mint bridge from one chain with liquidity. But then there's a step 2 where you abstract the native bridges so that user do not need to care, but then they have decided to be just on one chain, and that's why you need liquidity bridges based on user onboarding. And then there's step 3. By that time, devs like you are very tired and you don't know what to do, which is abstracting the chain related complexity, so users who have decided to use your app don't have to deal with it. And that's where solver based user onboarding comes. And the current solutions, for the step 1, wormhole, Layer 0, hyperlane, really well. Then you have pure liquidity bridges, and then you have across and particle, very great companies. The problem is that you have to go to a different app or different website every time you have to bridge in or bridge out money. And that's why we are introducing liquid apps, which means that any of the app that you're building here at the hackathon, it can instantly get liquidity from any network possible for any token possible. Let's talk about it. What is a liquid app? An app that brings financial liquidity to and from all chains. This means any L2, any EVM compatible. An app that brings communication and coordination across chains. An app that brings seamless interaction with users across all chain, right? So this is all of the above. I wanted to ask you a question, but I'll just explain you. And the reason why I say this is necessary is that me as a user do not want to use too many bridges every single time. I want to do everything from the app itself. Think of like a Venmo or a Zelle, or any kind of Web2 app that you use. If you're using this, then all the money really flows through your app itself. You can send it to anyone. You don't need to worry about chains or what chain there is. And that's the problem with crypto right now, is that there are so many chains that people just get lost. With Nexus, you directly go to the first part. Essentially, you are skipping everything else, and we take care of it on the back end. It's an SDK essentially for the dApp users. So you can take the SDK and integrate in any dApp. It can be a prediction market, it can be a perp, it can be a DEX aggregator, it can be a game as well. But you just need to enable the assets and the flow of networks and flow of assets. And then you skip everything else. The backend is handled by us, so you don't need to worry about it. There are multiple actions. There's a smart contracts. We take care about everything. So there's end-to-one actions, and Nexus basically solves a fundamental challenge for emerging rollups. Just a line that I want to say, but in general, I want to show you a small demo on how it works, and what you can achieve from Nexus in general. But the idea is that you can get liquidity from anywhere. With anywhere, I mean right now we have Hyperliquid enabled, we have Monad enabled, we have all the major L2s enabled, and then we have Avalanche and Tron as well. Solana integration will probably be done by the end of the month. So that means that users and their dApps can be pulled in the liquidity from anywhere possible. You can tap into the liquidity and users from N-chain. I'm just reading the verbatim. With Avail Nexus, you can build once, scale everywhere. That's the one thing that I really like about having a dApp with Nexus enabled. And I'll show you some demos as well. Uh, this is also another slide which basically talks about dApps and then unchained dApps. We call them liquid apps, unchained dApps. The idea is like you can take the liquidity, doesn't matter what their network is. Enough talk. Let's see in action. There's a video. So just to, sorry, it went away. But I'll just want to explain you first on what's happening. This is the Hyperliquid dApp, and in the Hyperliquid right now, you can take Arbitrum, USDC on Arbitrum, and then you can move anywhere. There's also another solution called Hyperunit. They're also doing great work. But if Hyperliquid or your perp adds Avail Nexus, this is how actually it looks like. Let's see. Oops, no, this one. It builds an intent. It builds an intent, and then from there you can see that this is where your USDs lies in your certain wallet, and you can move it to Hyperliquid from here. Okay. So what basically happened was that that certain wallet had different assets on different chains, Scroll, BNB, anywhere else, and we just needed to transfer it to Hyperliquid, Arbitrum, or whatever you want. But Hyperliquid is an own L1 because it's EVM compatible. It's really easy for us to do that. And we basically moved everything in one transaction. You can also, when you're coding it in your dApps, you can also choose or the user can itself choose what kind of network they want to move their assets from. It does not mean that they have to move all the single assets. It can be any asset from any chain. It does not have to be all of them. One more single video which I want to really show you because I feel like the sound is really good. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this is the next one. That was the video that I really wanted to show. I really like that video. But the basic idea is that you don't need to, go on a certain bridge and then make so many transactions. I think that's my biggest pain point right now in crypto as well, that I hate doing so many transactions every single day. Um, so this is how the Nexus widget would look like. Think of you using it into your UI. These are ready to use. They're called elements. I will probably show you that code base as well. But you can directly add those in your tab. So basically, it's a 200 to 300 lines of code, which will not affect you too much. And you can build any single app. The bounties are very much focused on DeFi. We love DeFi. I've been doing a lot of perps, a lot of prediction markets. So I would really appreciate if you build something like that. But you can also make a game. You can you can have anything else, maybe a wallet, and then you can include Nexus there. As you can see on this one, there's Nexus widget, and you see there's ETH to base, and you see ETH on base, you see ETH on Arbitrum, ETH on Polygon. So you can take all of it and then transfer it somewhere else. There's also another thing, and I'll show you in a second. It's called cross-chain swaps. So let's say you're on OP, and you need Kaito on base, and you have 100 USDC on OP. So you can just in one transaction buy Kaito, and then it will be on base rather than OP. So your bridging happen in one transaction and your swaps happen in one transaction. They're not multiple transactions or not a lot of hassle. Right now, if I have to do that, I'll probably go to a bridge first. I'll move my 100 USDC from OP to base, and then I'll probably use a swap, maybe go to DeFi Llama, and then move undo the 100 USDC on base to Kaito on base, right? So it's a too much hassle, and I've done this in this year a lot. I've had probably like 1,000 transactions, and I've always hated it. Um, I think that should be the final slideshow. I do want to talk about a little bit of the bounties here. So one of it is build any kind of unchained app. The idea is like unchained means you don't really need to worry about any kind of chain you're on. It's a general track. There are some of the examples. It can be unified gas refuel. So there's a very nice project called Small Refuel. If you ever look up, created by 0x and GMI, one of the best devs I've met. You can make something like that, but for unifying all the gas on any chain. You can do some kind of intent explorer, a visualizer, some kind of an extension, and anything on Aave or Morpho. So that means that you're forking Aave and Morpho, which has been done multiple times. And let me just probably make it bigger. And then there's also best DeFi or payment app. So anyone is building, let's say, some kind of cross-border payment thing in Latam to any kind of borderless world or anywhere else, you can do that. You can do payrolls and splits. You can do some kind of yield router. All of these ideas are there, and there's like $5,000 for those. And then finally, there's a dev feedback test or like dev feedback, which is basically you test a docs. That means that you're not integrating with the dApps, but you're testing it out and you're giving a good feedback. And we'll just look up on whose feedback is the best. It's a little bit more subjective, but we love all the feedback. We are going mainnet end of this month, so we would love all the developer feedback as well. And I just want to show you some more. This is just the documentation. You can go on docs.avail.org, and you'll see pretty much all the SDK overviews. Installing it is really easy. npm install Avail project next core. Nexus element, I'll just show you what Nexus element is. And then there are also some more examples on, let's say, core. There's some hooks, and there are also ideas on how you can do some rainbow stuff or Web3 provider stuff. And then there's some examples on initialization, on how everything works out. And there's a cheat sheet. We have a Telegram group. If you're not in it, you can reach out to me. I'll add you there. But you can basically look at any kind of cheat sheet. Sorry. This is for hackers. There are also some examples on what you can build. We had 130 projects at ETH Online. So you can take some inspiration from there. Please do not copy all of that. But that's also that you can do. And maybe I should just delete Notion. And then we have Nexus elements. That is another thing. Nexus element is basically pre-built components for your Nexus SDK. So that means that you do not need to write the whole code. And that's why I say like this is the easiest integration you can ever do at this hackathon. Any kind of app that you build, it's going to take you maybe 200 lines of code, some copy pasting, and it should probably build out really nicely. But there's some examples of how you wrap your app provider, how do you initialize wallet connect, and then there are some components. And these are like 4 major components. One is deposit, fast bridge, swaps, and unified balance. And I think unified balance is what you would want your users to see. That means that how much balance there is for everyone on every chain and what's the total of it. And then there's fast bridging and swaps as well. Um, and then there's a small example maybe that I can show you. So this is a small, testnet thing that we built at Avail Nexus. I did not have time to finish it, so there's not like a lot of things here, but I'll probably just go through it. I really like the picture, so I wanted to do it. Just disconnect my wallet. But in general, connecting your wallet with Rainbow, I sign the transaction. That's my main wallet. So if I get hacked, I get hacked. Um, Now this is where the unified balance you can see. You see there's ETH, and that's all I have right now on my testnet. I have Ethereum Sepolia, I have Base Sepolia, I have USDC on Monad, and then I have Monad tokens as well. This is testnet, so that's why I have Monad tokens. I can now do some kind of transfer to any destination chain. And the reason why you're only seeing this many chain is because I have only enabled those chains. You can enable more chains. Put in a destination address and then a token and amount. You can bridge as well, and you can deposit from anywhere else. This is just a testnet. And then there's also cross chain, which I did not do it on testnet, but there's probably on mainnet if we can check. Let's check. Should be this, and because I did not confirm, I wanna connect some different wallet. Oops, sorry. Let's see, what is my wallet with cheapest money? 2049. And I just sign another transaction. If I get hacked, I do not know what I did. But again, this is the main net. It's on mainnet, so you can see I have $33, and it's on Arbitrum One Ethereum mainnet. I have some base tokens. I don't know where I got that from, and then I have some USDC, which is 0.004. I can take this, I can transfer it to multiple chains. And because this is the main network, you see so many chains here: Hyper EVM, Kaya, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Base, Polygon. There should be Monad as well, but Monad is not launched yet, so you cannot see it here. You can do it for testnet. And then you can do bridge as well from multiple different chains. There's a cross-chain swap. I don't think I worked on this one, but cross-chain swaps is also enabled. There's a whole code base online that you can find in the documentation, but that's the basic work. Any questions so far? Yes. Sorry? You can just say it. I can listen to you. Yeah. hmm Um, it needs to be an EOA because that's where the users fund live, right? If that safe wallet is integrated, and if there's some way that possible, but no, mostly EOAs. Yes. Any more questions? I think that's about it. But yeah, if there's anything else, feel free to come to the booth. I will be there for the most part. But thanks a lot for listening to me.